And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing FortressCraft Evolved. Slowly making our way to the frozen factory. Alright, so we need... I've got all this cleared out. I got batteries built. They're almost all charged. Everything is all good. I'm charging the last of the Mark 1s to go to Mark 2s. Just to clear this out, because, you know, I don't have the inventory space to hold hundreds of these. And nice timing, we have a plane going overhead. Oh, Lord. Anyway, so what I have here, I'm going to be putting down the Mark 1 right here. So I'm going to be charging this from this side, like that. And then I'll have a space, and I'll have the Mark II right here. And I'll have a space, and I'll have the Mark III lining up with this one on this side. Now, here's the tricky part. This one needs 500 power per second, but this only produces 455. So it's not quite enough. Plus, I'm using a little bit on this side. I'm not using a whole, you know, too terribly much, but I'm using a little trickle. So I need a little extra power. Luckily, both of these, this is 100 and this is 250. So this is 350 power. So I've got another 100 power per second ability right here. So what I'm thinking is put this here with a lens in it, so it can send all the power I get from there, and then use a blue laser with a lens in it, and that'll send another 80 power over to this thing. So this will be able to put out 450 power from this turbine, and then another 80 from this one, and that should still give us plenty of power to charge these two full speed. The trick now is what to do about the Mark IVs, because those things are power hungry. 1,000 power per second, I do believe it is. I think it's 1,000. It might even be more than 1,000. So I'm going to have to get really creative with how much power I'm pushing, because these are also powering a few things. I got rid of most of the generators down here and beaming power directly to where it's needed, kind of upgrading this whole system. The exception is this one here, which is only charging this one, and I actually don't need it. So, because this is getting a full charge from that section there. So, I think we're just going to cover that up, and this should get plenty of power. So I don't have anything really draining too much power. This is actually charging all of my missile production. So this one's kind of important, but it actually doesn't take too much power. You know, a couple hundred power is not too bad charging all of this, because it's also charging the matter mover. So it's a pretty vital one that I don't really want to mess with too much. And all of this, of course, is pretty useless now. I don't have anything drawing anymore from this spot, so I can basically clear all of this out and not worry too much. So I'm just going to clear all this out. Make sure my inventory stays pretty good. I've got a whole bunch of coal on me, enriched coal, and that is unfortunate, but all of these have to go. And I want to make sure I stick around, because I've got a lot of beacons in this area, and I really don't want to... Oh, really? I thought I middle-clicked the rock. Middle-click the rock. There we go. There we go. One more. And let's get rid of these noisy Noisy batteries. All right, then the last part is this coal miner, and as you can see, I had to dig through the coal in order to get this lane ready to go, which was fine because it was all depleted coal and it really didn't hurt anything. And this just has a magnetic drill motor in it, so I'm going to grab the coal out of there and fill this in, and this should just mine it down and finish off the power that it has, because we're going to need to, this whole back row is going to be all power boosters. So far so good. We've got 9 left in there, 8 left, and then we can start this process. So as a temporary measure, I want to put some Mark IIIs into a hopper to start, and let's put a hopper here and grab a few Mark IIs. I have enough for, let's do 4, and let's put the Mark IIs in to get upgraded, and I need 4 more. That'll give me exactly 8. And again, this is 500 power per second. So this one is running full out, and this one is pushing a little extra power in to get us where we want. So we want to build up to the Mark IV, which needs 8 of these. And while this is all running, our excavator over there is going full blast, digging out for our resin farm, which I'm going to need a lot more construction paste. So I'm thinking of ways to get a lot of construction paste, and I had originally planned to basically use my Mark III quarry to just dig out as much as possible. We've got 500 organic matter already. So this finally finished, so I'll be able to dig this out. I'm going to middle click that and then put it over here. So that finishes that off. Now I need room for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, I have enough room for all of the Mark IIIs, and I can build the Mark IV now. But I can't build a Mark V because I need resin. Alright, so this is good for what I need for the Mark III. The Mark IV, let's take a look at how much power it wants and plan accordingly. Let's put it right smack in the middle here. And Mark IV, right there. So this wants 800 power per second. So this is this will be 2 different generators. I'm not sure if I edited that or if that's what DJ had on there. Maybe he changed it recently. Made it a little bit easier to manage. So because this is 800 power per second, we're going to want a laser that does at least that, because this laser is not nearly enough, not even at 100%. So let's see what an organic lens, a really good organic lens, 250. So this should give me plenty. And then one more laser here pointing that way, it will draw from this, and we're going to want at least 100% out of this. So where are my other lenses? Did I use all my other organic lenses? I think I did, because I don't quite need this one. So I'm gonna have a few of those. And let's see, organic lens right in there. There, now we're going to pull from this one and this one, and it should be plenty of power for the Mark IV. However, the Mark V is a different story, and we're going to want to take from this bank here. This should be out of power. It is. We're going to take the rest of that, and let's see. Good to go on there. That's empty. Now we just have a few Mark IIs. We got quite a few Mark IIs actually, and I could upgrade these. I could funnel all of these over to build up the Mark IVs, and I might do that with 8 of them, just because we need at least 8 of them to build up to a Mark V. So I'm going to put 4 of these. I should still have some of them in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should charge 8 Mark IVs and get me ready for the next step, which is the Mark Vs, which I don't have the power for yet, unfortunately. Let's go check on the OET. How's the OET charge going? Already at 41%. Let's go check our missile systems. It looks like my copper is doing fine, although it is dwindling quite a bit. 3 smelters, not quite able to keep up. Not bad, but not quite. Iron is probably in the same boat, probably running a little low on iron as well, because these are going into our crafting of the fuel. And we have quite a bit. We got a nice backlog of turbine power going, so we're doing well on that, even though we just added another 5 turbines. Let's go check on missile production here. Looks like imbueds are doing okay. We've got 1,300 imbued in there. We've got tons and tons of cluster missiles, and it looks like these are still fully backlogged all the way down. So yeah, we've got plenty of missiles for this charge. The big limitation right now is organic resin, and that is where we need to focus on going forward. It looks like it finished with the big dig, and now I need to clear out all this miscellaneous ore. So again, what I'm going to do is slow myself down, because I've died a couple times now coming down here. I do want a lift. I'm going to put a lift in, and yeah, you're going to need to die. Give me your organic rock, thank you. So here's my setup for these. I did put one over here to kind of dig out a little bit more, just to see how far back it went. I'm going to be lining this with reinforced concrete, and hopefully that will clear up a little bit of the space that it needs. But to get rid of all of this ore, I'm going to switch this mode to from clear garbage to clear ore, which will not only clear garbage, but it will also clear ore. The clear all command clears everything, so it'll clear all of these machines, all of the batteries, all of the lasers. It'll clear everything, so you got to be careful. I added that feature because there was somebody that was having problems with it not clearing anything, because he had a mod installed that basically made everything craftable. So like all different rocks and stuff, and the excavator actually avoids machines and anything that's craftable. So the only way to get that to avoid not mining anything was to the clear all command, which incidentally would also allow it to clear out any rack rails you might have wanting to clear out of a pit. So, you know, you set this radius down to 1, you set the height, which can go up to 20, I think 2048 now. You set it to clear all, and you set it to drop all, and it will clear all the rack rails and then drop all the rack rails. So that is a good use for getting rid of rack rails, at least from cargo lifts that you don't want to operate anymore. But for now, I want to clear ore, drop none, and then just hit plus or minus on your numpad, and it will reset itself to start clearing once again. It kind of just resets the machine, and you can then start clearing again. So this will go through the whole floor plan, the whole footprint here, and clear all of the ore that's kind of in the way. I don't want any of the ore that's in here. I don't need it. I can feed that hive anything, so ore is just in the way of, it's going to be in the way of my mine. As far as this goes, it looks like I picked a good spot for it to clear. I've got a little bit of resin peeking out. So what I think I'm going to do is build a few of those Nano Disintegrators and clear out a way for me to put a wall up right along this edge, and I won't need to worry about the resin poking out at all or having a way out. So I just need to build a whole bunch of those Nano Disintegrators, which incidentally I think actually use the Mark II power boosters, so that'll be a good use to get rid of some of those. But yeah, I'm gonna Nano Disintegrate to build ourselves a wall, and then we can start on the Resin Farm ASAP, which is one thing I really want to do, just because this is where my limitation is right now. I don't have enough resin to continue, and I really need all that resin. So I'm going to let this dig out all of the ore in this huge pit, and put in a cargo lift over here somewhere, and I think it's going to be kind of up here a ways. My baseline is usually right about the level of the hive mind itself, and then we're going to need to figure out how we're going to put power over here. So I am thinking of ways to do that. Not 100% sure how I want to just yet. Whether it's adding a stack to the turbines we already have, or what it is. Oh, I ran into some rock. Okay, well here's the resin that we've already, the hive that we destroyed, and all of this ore should go away. You can see I've already cleared out a bunch in the middle using one of my other excavators. Oh, I almost made it. There we go. So yeah, that ore will all clear out, and I need to get some more. I need to get some more resin quickly. All right, so there is another 100 of those. I can craft a bunch more. I'm going to clear that out and craft the 2 more, or the 3 more orbital strikes that we're going to need. I think they were in here. Yep. So I need 3 more of these. And we have 48 left. And I don't need them at all for anything, I don't think. So I'm going to put the orbital strikes in there, and then macerate the leftovers of my orbital energy. And maybe keep maybe keep 8 more just in case I get some derpy weird blocks that disappear. That way I don't have to just craft one like the one that I need. So I'm gonna put these in there just for safekeeping. I've got a couple more organic rock from that camel bot. And there we go. We now have, I need some Nano Disintegrators. So these things, I think, Nano Disintegrators. Were they in power? Let's do a search for Nano and then figure out where they went. Nano Disintegrator is in the enemy thing. And yes, these use the Mark IIs, so that is a good thing that I saved a whole bunch of those, because I'm going to need a few of these. But that'll have to do it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.